With NFL free agency winding down, it's time to take a closer look at the top draft options for the Dallas Cowboys with the 12th overall pick. This breakdown is largely based on my personal evaluation of the players, but I'll also factor in some of the team's historical preferences to predict how they might approach this selection. Now, let's set the record straight. No trade-ups are being considered here. That means there is absolutely no chance that Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter will be available at pick number 12. Even if some last-minute controversy were to drop their stock, they're simply not realistic options. Beyond those two, things get interesting. This year's draft class lacks a clear-cut top tier, and that opens the door to unpredictability. There isn't a solid consensus on players beyond the elite few, and because of that, we could see some unexpected names sliding down the board. One player that stands out as a long shot, but remains intriguing, is Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham. I'd be genuinely surprised if he falls outside the top 10. In fact, I don't think he should slip past Jacksonville at pick 5 unless an unusual early run on quarterback shakes things up. His arm length might not be ideal, but his skill set is reminiscent of Christian Wilkins, a disruptive interior presence who is stout against the run while still creating pressure. He's not a guaranteed double-digit sack guy every season, but he's a three-down player who makes an impact. If somehow Graham is available at 12, the Cowboys should pounce on him without hesitation. Another name that stands out is Arizona wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan. He fits exactly what the Cowboys need, a big-bodied target who can line up both outside and in the slot, solidifying the WR2 role. His play style gives off strong T. Higgins vibes, and his production has been impressive. While his reported 4.48-second 40-yard dash at his pro day might be generous, he's probably more in the mid-4.5s range, which is exactly what I expected. If he's on the board at 12, Dallas should be thrilled. Boise State running back Ashton Janney is another strong consideration. From a pure talent standpoint, I have Janney rated higher than McMillan, but when factoring in positional value and team needs, McMillan edges him out slightly. Janney is an electric player, an all-purpose weapon who racks up yards after contact at an absurd rate. In fact, he led all college running backs in that category last season with nearly 2,000 yards after contact. He's a top 5 player in this draft for me. But the question is whether Dallas would invest such a high pick in a running back given other roster needs. If both Janney and McMillan are available, it's a tough choice, but I'd lean toward McMillan for the Cowboys. However, I'd be surprised if either of them makes it past the Raiders at pick 6, as both seem like perfect fits for Las Vegas. Beyond those two, there's a noticeable talent drop-off. Penn State tight and Tyler Warren is another intriguing option, even though it would be more of a luxury pick than a necessity. He's an elite athlete with great football IQ and after-the-catch ability. Penn State even designed a wild Warren package for him, where he lined up under center, making him a creative option in short yardage situations. His skill set reminds me of early career Jason Witten or Greg Olsen, and while the Cowboys already have young tight ends, Warren's talent makes him worth considering. Michigan cornerback Will Johnson is another name that shouldn't be overlooked. Since his freshman season, he's been a high-level playmaker, though injuries limited him this past year. Assuming his medical evaluations check out, he projects as a potential number 1 corner in the NFL. His playing style reminds me of Xavier Howard, a gambler who isn't a burner but consistently makes plays on the ball. Given Dallas' long-term uncertainties at cornerback, Johnson could be a strong selection. If the Cowboys aren't fully sold on any of these prospects at 12, trading down becomes an interesting option. Moving back a few spots could net them an extra 3rd or 4th round pick while still allowing them to select a quality player. The problem, however, is finding a willing trade partner in a draft that lacks consensus elite talent. The team got lucky last year when the Lions overpaid to move up, but that scenario isn't guaranteed to repeat itself. Another name I personally like, though I have doubts about the Cowboys' interest, is Texas cornerback Jade Barron. He's an ideal replacement for Jordan Lewis, capable of playing outside, in the slot, or even at safety. He's a physical player with excellent ball skills and a willingness to contribute in run support. However, Dallas has strict thresholds when it comes to arm length, and Barron falls short in that category. While I'd take him at 12 without hesitation, history suggests the Cowboys might not see it the same way. If Dallas opts to go offensive line, they should simply take the best available player. Whether it's a true franchise tackle or someone who projects better at guard, offensive line depth is always valuable. Prospects like Armin Mu, Will Campbell, and Kelvin Banks all have first-round potential, though some might be better suited for an interior role. Another option would be selecting the best remaining wide receiver if McMillan is off the board. The Cowboys need help at the position, and waiting too long could leave them without a quality option. Players like Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, and Emeka Egbuka all bring different strengths to the table. But the key question is whether any of them are worth the 12th pick or if a trade-down scenario would be preferable. Defensively, Dallas could also look at reinforcing the front four. While they've made some additions in free agency, finding a young impact player on the defensive line remains a priority. Michigan's Kenneth Grant and Texas A&M Shamar Stewart are intriguing options, though both come with some concerns. Stewart, in particular, is an athletic freak but underwhelmed in college, raising questions about his NFL projection. However, his arm length does not meet the Cowboys' usual draft thresholds, which could make them hesitant to select him at number 12. Even though he has all the traits of a playmaker, Dallas has historically shown a reluctance to draft cornerbacks with shorter arms, no matter how productive they were in college. If they were to make an exception for Barron, it would signal a shift in their drafting philosophy, prioritizing talent and versatility over strict measurables. Another potential direction for the Cowboys is reinforcing the offensive line. Although they selected Tyler Guyton in last year's draft, adding another top-tier offensive lineman could still be on the table. The best available lineman at that spot could be someone like Armin Pugh or Will Campbell, both of whom have first-round grades. Campbell's short arms might make him a better fit as an interior lineman rather than a tackle, while Pugh has the versatility to play multiple positions. Kelvin Banks is another intriguing name, but he might be better suited as a guard, which may not match what the Cowboys are looking for with their first-round pick. Given that offensive line play is one of the most critical factors in a team's success, it would not be shocking if Dallas decided to go this route and invest in protecting their quarterback and establishing a dominant running game. If they prefer to focus on offensive firepower, wide receiver remains a glaring need. If McMillan is off the board, Dallas could pivot to other receiving options such as Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, or Emeka Egbuka. Burden, in particular, was expected to take a bigger leap last season, but was held back by inconsistent quarterback play. Despite that, his raw athleticism and ability to make plays after the catch make him an intriguing option. Golden had a strong finish to his college career and has tested well athletically, while Egbuka is viewed as one of the most reliable pass catchers in this class. The question for Dallas is whether any of these players are worth taking at number 12, or if it would be wiser to trade down and acquire additional picks before selecting one later in the first round. On the defensive line, there are several high-upside prospects who could be in consideration. Mike Green is one of the most talented defensive linemen in this class, but his character concerns could make teams hesitant to invest a top 15 pick in him. Shamar Stewart is another freak athlete who has all the physical tools but was underutilized in college, raising questions about his ability to make an immediate impact in the NFL. Jalen Walker brings versatility to the table, but there is uncertainty about whether he is best suited as an edge rusher or an outside linebacker. Kenneth Grant, a powerful interior lineman, could be a strong addition to Dallas's defensive front, though selecting him at number 12 might be considered a reach. Walter Nolan is another name that has generated buzz, but his inconsistency throughout his college career has raised concerns about his long-term development. If Dallas decides to prioritize its defensive line with this pick, it will likely come down to choosing between a high-floor player like Grant or rolling the dice on an elite athlete like Stewart. For those hoping the Cowboys will finally invest in a safety, the reality is that it is unlikely to happen in the first round. Dallas has a long history of devaluing the safety position, and despite Malachi Starks testing extremely well, it is hard to imagine them breaking their trend. If they were to go this route, it would indicate a major philosophical shift in their approach to roster building. Another potential trade-down candidate is linebacker Gabe Campbell. But with the Cowboys already having a solid linebacker group, the need for another player at the position may not be pressing enough to justify a first-round selection. Beyond the first round, the Cowboys will need to make strategic decisions based on how the board falls. If they pass on a receiver at 12, they might find value in the second or third round. If they prioritize defense early, they could use later picks to shore up their offensive line depth. The draft is always unpredictable, and while Dallas has historically followed certain patterns, there's always the chance they deviate based on how things unfold. Ultimately, the Cowboys are in a fascinating position at number 12. They have a variety of directions they could take, each with its own risks and rewards. Whether they choose to strengthen their defensive front, add a dynamic offensive weapon, or trade down for additional picks, their decision will have a lasting impact on the team's future. With so many talented prospects on the board, it will be interesting to see how they approach this critical selection and whether they stay put or make a move to reshape their roster. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a stunning move that has set the NFL world abuzz, the Dallas Cowboys have made an unexpected play for one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in recent memory, Jalen Hurts. Known for his dynamic dual-threat ability, Hurts has transformed the Philadelphia Eagles' offense since taking over as the starter in 2020, leading them to multiple playoff appearances, including a Super Bowl 57 run. Now, rumors are swirling that the Cowboys, longtime NFC East rivals, are looking to shake up their own quarterback position by pursuing the star signal caller. While Hurts' future with the Eagles seemed secure after signing a record-breaking 5-year extension worth $255 million in April 2023, the Cowboys are reportedly keen on adding his talents to their roster. Despite a stellar 2023 season, where Hurts set multiple franchise and league records, his contract includes a no-trade clause, which could make this pursuit all the more challenging for Dallas. Yet, the Cowboys believe they could provide Hurts with a supporting cast to elevate their own championship aspirations, with many speculating that his leadership and explosive play style could be the missing piece to their Super Bowl puzzle. The implications of such a move would be seismic not only for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFL landscape. A trade for Hurts would send shockwaves through the NFC East and beyond, instantly shifting the balance of power. While the Eagles are unlikely to let their star quarterback go without a fight, the Cowboys are setting themselves up for what could be one of the boldest and most impactful moves of the offseason. The stage is set for a dramatic twist in one of the NFL's most storied rivalries. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.